Work is a tough task. Work and sacrifice put together is usually dead on arrival for most people.
Good point. Over here, on this side over here.
Hello, thank you. You've made some wonderful points. And thank you. And being an engineer with weird brain thoughts, I'm looking from things the other way around. I think even if we could implement a lot of what you said and raise much more taxes, I think for me, a lot of our view is so many people are so disappointed in the way our government tends to spend the money that we do send them. What can we do to work in that particular area?
Well, I think the question is, how do we deal with the public trust issues with government? And coming from a state, Alabama, that has about as little trust as you can imagine, for good reason, by the way, I well understand your question. Tax reform has to go hand in hand with ethics reform. What would ethics reform require? Well, I think every government budget ought to be on the internet. You know, we have freedom of information law. Well, in order to get information under the Freedom of Information law, you have to file a request to get it. And then the government agency, which includes public institutions of learning, can basically tell you to jump in the lake. I don't want to give it to you. What do you have to do then? You have to hire a lawyer and sue them to hand over the public information. And begrudgingly, if you do that, the judge will hand it over, and the judge will force the recalcitrant institution, which is all public institutions, not just the government, but anything funded by the government, such as public universities and schools, they have to pay your lawyer. Well, what public citizen is going to go through all that trouble? Don't you think we should have more transparency and put all of the expenditures on the internet and just have it there? So that if you're so curious, you can look on the internet and find out exactly how much your governor spent of your money doing this, that, and the other thing. Or your legislators. Or the grand poobahs of public university X. Or whoever. I think a good first step to government accountability would be to require all financial public information to be reported on the internet and applicable websites, no exceptions, put it out there, and if you're ashamed of it, maybe you shouldn't be spending the money that way. Because nothing grows worse than scum in darkness.
That is perhaps an excellent
Scum in darkness?